how do you know how much weight you should be lifting? It can be hard because there's a lot of influencers, quote unquote, out there that, have these perfect pictures of them lifting a ton of weight, and then we feel like we have to lift a ton of weight. And so do we do that, or do we do something different? And it can be confusing, but I'm diving into all of that today. So strap in, get ready for episode 162. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And before we dive into today's content, if you have not been over to YouTube, please go check out my channel. I have over 350 videos, yes, you heard that right, of just all different stuff. I have home workouts, resistant band workouts, dumbbell workouts, full gym workouts. I have nutrition videos, there's all kinds of stuff on there. So if you've not checked out the channel, please head on over youtube.com/bones to bulk. Subscribe to the channel. I would be greatly appreciative. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So maybe you've been lifting for a little while and you're kind of confused as to, are you lifting enough? Should you be lifting more? How much do you lift? And it's a good question. It really is. We get so inundated with appearances and how we look. Are we lifting enough weight in the gym? We probably all know the people that are lifting some ungodly amount of weight in our gym, and they, they're there. Let's just leave it at that. And is that really what weightlifting and strength training is all about? I think there is a place for 1 rep maxes. I absolutely do. I think, it pushes us. It's a good goal to have. I personally have a goal to get my bench press up this year and to hit a new personal goal for that. But that shouldn't define every single workout. That's more of the one-off rather than the norm. And I think we can get so caught up with the numbers, just like with the scale. I've talked about before how we can get so consumed with, and I've talked about it before, the numbers on the scale and our weight, and rather than looking at the whole picture of, do we like how we look and what are our measurements? And it's the same thing with the amount of weights we lift. Are we looking at the whole picture, or are we just I bench pressed, 1 rep at 3 gazillion pounds, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing, again, wrong with going for 1 rep maxes, but it doesn't effectively train the muscle. If I go in the gym and on every single exercise, I'm just going for a 1 rep max and I pump out, maybe I do a warm up set of 5 reps and then I do one of 3 reps and then I go hard and try to hit that 1 rep max. And that's all I do. Am I really straining the muscle the way it should be? Am I really putting the time under tension in? No, I'm not. I've got to be breaking down the muscle when I'm in the gym. That's the whole point of the gym, is to break down the muscle and to really cause those muscle fibers to tear. And if I'm only going for 1 or a few reps every time, I'm not doing that effectively. In fact, I would argue that someone who goes in and just tries to get 1 rep maxes and is just doing a few reps is working the muscle a whole lot less than someone who's in there consistently pushing 12 to 15 reps for 4 sets. That is putting your muscle under a whole lot more strain. So kind of get away from the idea that you have to be lifting a certain amount. And I get it. I get the fitness world we live in and the fake weights that are becoming more and more well known, people are using in their videos, and just everything going on. And it's crazy and it's all for appearances, but it's not an ego game. It's not. We don't get in better shape and lift weights so that we can go brag about how much we lift. It's about, how do I feel? Am I happy with the way I look? Am I happy with the way I feel? Am I, gaining strength like I want to? That's what really matters. It's not, I hit 500 pounds on whatever. That's not the goal. That's a cool thing that comes along with some things, but it shouldn't be what directs our every focus and all the things we strive for. So to kind of bring this back in, what does that mean? How does that apply to your day-to-day in the gym? Well, first off, I talk about it again all the time. Time under tension is key. So to figure out how much you really should be lifting so that your time under tension is good, first I would start off with a rep range. And the reason I say rep range is because when we just focus on, let's say we're going to get 3 sets of 10, we're going to stop at 10. Even if we could get a couple more, we're going to stop at 10 because we've set in our minds that we're only doing 10 reps. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of a set number, set a range, at least, a little bit of a range, whether it's 10 to 13 or 12 to 15 or something, so that some days you're going to be stronger than others. We all know some days in the gym are easier than others. So this way, if you're on set 2 and you get to 10 or you get to 12 and you're like, you know what, I could do a few more, then it gives you permission almost to pump out a few more reps. So set a range rather than a set number. The second thing is you want to make sure that you're lifting enough weight, but not too much weight. And the way you tell this, here's how you know if you're lifting too much weight. And again, going back to my example, let's say 12 to 15 reps is your goal. You want to hit 12 to 15 reps for 3 sets. If you get to set 2 and you only do 10 reps, and then set 3 you only do 8 reps, you need to drop the weight because you weren't able to get to the minimum 12 reps for each set. So you know you need to drop the weight. On the reverse side of that, let's say you get to 15 on every single set, and it was hard, but you wonder if you could have pushed out a few more, increase the weight a little bit. You want to be, by set 3, it should be really, really, really hard for you to get to your rep range. Like you should have to just eke everything out. I don't know if eke is a word. Anyway, you should have to push everything out in order to get those last few reps up. So that's a good way to gauge whether you're lifting enough or not. Now, another good way to know is your forearm going to hell? In other words, are you beginning to involve other muscle groups by rocking your body? Are you speeding up on those last few reps? You get to 7 and you're like, okay, I'm going to get these last reps, and you just start flying through the reps because if you don't, you won't hit it. Then it's also probably time to lower the amount you're lifting down. And there is nothing wrong with lowering the amount of weight. You've got to get that out of your head. And I get it, it's a stigma that should not be there, but it's there. But we've got to get that out of our head. I'll give you an example. I was in the gym this morning doing a couple chest exercises, and there was one exercise I used 15-pound dumbbells on, and another exercise that I used 20-pound dumbbells on, and both of them I felt like my arms were going to fall off. That's how hard it was. And it was because I was going extremely slow. I was holding for a second at the peak of the contraction. I was going very slow on the eccentric. So you can insanely strain the muscles without lifting a lot of weight. It's not hard to do. Slow down, make sure you are isolating the muscle, and I'm telling you, you can get a hell of a workout with some light dumbbells. You really can. It doesn't have to be these big weights. And we've gotten so in our head that if I'm not lifting heavy, then I'm not lifting. I think that's even a quote, I don't know. Anyway, but the point is, please just get in the habit of using lighter weights and slowing down. That's going to increase your time under tension so much, and it's going to result in more microscopic muscle tears, which is going to equate to building bigger muscle, because that's how our muscles grow. We break them down, and then they heal, and they rebuild, and they come back stronger and bigger. And you know what? Maybe you're going to get some weird looks. Maybe you do. I've gotten used to that because I do some different exercises, and sometimes I'm straining under light weights and people are probably looking at me like I'm crazy and maybe I'm weak and whatever, but you're not there for them. You're there for your journey. You're there to build yourself up, to build your own strength. You're not there for Sally or Joe who are sitting next to you. This isn't a go in and impress people game. This is a go in and transform myself and make myself better. That's what this is all about. So I hope this encourages you. I hope it gives you just some rest that, I don't have to perform. I don't have to appear a certain way. I don't have to do this for the sake of somebody else. I'm doing this for me. And I get it, because leaving our ego at the door, it sounds cool and it sounds easy, but it's not. It's hard because we're always trying to impress. We're always worried about we look. That's why so many people are hindered from going in the gym in the first time, because they're worried about how they're going to look, or if is anybody looking at me, or who cares? Most people aren't paying attention to you. Most people are consumed with themselves. And even if they are, what does it matter? If they had some 1 second thought pass through their mind about you, oh, that's weird that what that dude's doing, you know what? It's okay. Move on. You're there for you. Most people in the gym realize that. We all had our first day. We all have gone through ups and downs in the gym. We all know the journey. We're all there for one singular purpose, to, at least, I hope we all are, is to better ourselves. So I hope this encourages you. Give this a try. Really focus on your time under tension. Find that sweet spot for how much weight you should be lifting by knowing whether you're hitting your sets and reps like you should, or if you're not, and adjust accordingly. Thank you so much for listening. And if you found this helpful, then connect with me. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on the podcast, or any, questions you have, or things you would like to hear discussed on the podcast. And you can actually text me your thoughts on that. Text the word podcast to 706-222-7551. That will get you a part of our text community, and from there you can message me questions. They come directly to me. I will respond to them, and I would love to just connect with you. All right, with that being said, remember, no matter what walls you're facing, what things you're coming up against, you can hit your fitness goals. You've got this.